2025 will feature the return of Marvel and DC to the big screen. Whether or not anyone will actually give a shit remains to be seen. Based on what I've seen so far from all of these movies, through a combination of trailers and online updates that never seem to stop, I can't say that I'm all that impressed or excited for any of them. What excites me as a moviegoer is filmmakers and movie stars who are willing to go the extra mile, all in an effort to give the audience an experience like they've never had before. And no one person has been better at doing that recently than Tom Cruise, the real last action hero who consistently puts all of this cape to shame. And if this new Mission Impossible trailer is any indication, he will be doing it again in 2025. Let's discuss.
I watch so you don't have to.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
I don't know, man. Seems like a lot of Tom Cruise glazing to me. I mean, hanging off of planes is cool and all, but you know what would make it cooler? CGI. In fact, I don't think CGI is used enough in movies anymore. I don't know why Tom Cruise is so adamantly against it. Wouldn't it be easier than almost dying every time you want to make a Mission Impossible movie? I mean, who is he trying to impress at this point? At least it looks like the movie's gonna have some Easter eggs. That's always a plus. I guess I better binge watch all the other movies just to catch up. Wait, there's 7 of them? Maybe I'll just watch a YouTube summary video or something like that. Work smarter, not harder. Ladies and gentlemen, in this era of cinema, where we consistently get the most lazy and uninspired blockbusters possible, there has been one man who has shown everyone how it's done. There has been one man who has shown everyone what it means to be a true movie star. One man who goes to great lengths to show audiences how much he appreciates them. And he does so by putting his own life on the line year after year, and it's all for the love of movies. Since the overwhelming success of Top Gun Maverick, it feels like the public perception of Tom Cruise has done a complete 180. But don't get me wrong, he was getting praised for his work in the Mission Impossible franchise for a while before that.
I can understand you're very upset. Kittredge, you've never seen me very upset.
And rightfully so. If we are being honest with ourselves, this has been one of the most consistent franchises coming out of Hollywood in the past 20 years. And I do think that it's pretty insane that this franchise is about to receive its 8th installment. Now, it would have been easy for them to go the route of the Fast and Furious films, meaning consistently trying to one-up the previous movie, but you take it too far, and the movies venture into a space that feels like it's a parody of what made people fall in love with the original film in the first place. You see, that never happened with the Mission Impossible franchise. Even when they come up with a new crazy practical stunt for Tom Cruise to do in each entry. But those scenes never feel out of place. They never feel like a stretch. They feel consistent based on what's been established in the franchise so far.
That makes sense.
Mission Impossible movies are more than just stunts as well. Sure, they make great action movies, but they also frequently give you story reasons to be invested in these characters, both new and old. That's why I believe that these movies are the closest representation we have to something that resembles the way Hollywood used to make movies. No ulterior motives, no pandering, no agendas, just straight up escapism. And that's exactly why this franchise has continued to thrive all of these years later. This film was supposed to be called Dead Reckoning Part 2, but at some point it went through a name change, and it is now called The Final Reckoning. I guess this really is the final film in the franchise, unless, of course, Hollywood decides to foolishly reboot it with new actors. Because let's be real, at this point, Tom Cruise is Ethan Hunt, and Ethan Hunt is Tom Cruise. And nobody has any desire to see a Mission Impossible reboot with, I don't know, Tom Holland in the lead role. I'm actually regretting that I just put that out in the universe.
It's Hollywood, baby. Who knows what's gonna happen?
What I liked about this trailer, outside of the fact that it's actually a competently made trailer overall, is that it's heavily insinuated that everything that Ethan has dealt with or done up until this point will have some kind of impact on this film. That, my friends, is how you put the stakes at an all-time high in a series that consistently has high stakes. It's literally insinuated that everything that has happened is leading to this moment. And that has to be exciting if you are a longtime fan of this franchise like I am. Something like that makes not only this film feel important, but all of the other Mission Impossible films prior to it.
I like it a lot.
I mean, are we about to get a Mission Impossible movie that actually puts Easter eggs to good use? We see the knife from Mission Impossible 1's most iconic scene. Some keen-eye individuals pointed out that we see the rabbit's foot from the highly underrated Mission Impossible 3. One of the best things that J.J. Abrams has ever been associated with, by the way. Which isn't saying much given his track record, but still. My only thought is, how will they tie Mission Impossible 2 into the finale? The black sheep of the franchise. Or will they just pretend that it doesn't exist, like some people already do? Based on the overall tone of the trailer and the incredibly ominous voiceover work going on, I think it's safe to say that Ethan will experience some level of loss in this film. Whether that be someone close to him actually dying, or experiencing some kind of professional setbacks.
I'm in a glass case of emotion!
Either way, it's clear that they will be stacking the deck against him like never before in his final outing. There's some new faces in the trailer, as well as some returning faces. The one that jumped out to me was obviously Angela Bassett. This franchise has a habit of getting supremely talented and well-known actors and flawlessly integrating them into this established, fleshed-out world. Plus, we all know that Angela Bassett brings her A-game every single time out, and I'm sure this film will be no different. Plus, what would a Mission Impossible trailer be without Tom Cruise doing what he does best? Running. I'm going out on a limb right now and calling him the greatest runner in the history of cinema, and there is no competition. As far as the big standout stunt of this movie, because every Mission Impossible movie has one, we have Tom Cruise once again hanging on the side of a plane like the absolute madman that he is. Smaller planes this time around, which somehow makes it feel even more dangerous. You see, hanging off a plane isn't enough for Tom Cruise anymore. Now he has to be hanging off a smaller plane that's in the middle of a chase sequence where the plane will be twisting and turning in the process. Shut up and give this man a Lifetime Achievement Oscar for stunts alone. I think he deserves it.
You love me! You really love me!
The general theme of this trailer is no regrets, and whether or not the core team has always been on the right side of history. And no, this isn't the ramblings of a politically obsessed nutjob on X. What it is a culmination of all the things that these characters have done and accomplished up until this point. And even if their actions have inspired even greater threats in some way, in the end, we have faith that Ethan and company will find a way to set things right by any means necessary. And that, my friends, is why we love these characters and this franchise so much. And that is exactly why we will be seated, to quote a friend.
Y'all be cool. Shut up.